All right, good afternoon and welcome back to Reimagine MDIS, the virtual fair. As I mentioned before, the University of Sunderland and Edinburgh Napier University MBA programs, the special rebates that were happening from 12 to 1 have been extended all the way till 3:30 p.m. So remember, the UOS MBA programs, $7,500 worth of rebates will be continuing until 3:30, as well as the Edinburgh Napier University MBA program, $4,500 worth of rebates. These two will be lasting until 3:30 p.m. So do get in touch with our education consultants if you look to move forward in your educational pathway with either one of these programs. Now, if you're someone who has always had a passion for the world of tourism and hospitality, you will certainly be excited about this next segment. We are joined by the School of Tourism and Hospitality, where they will delve deeper into what to expect in this industry.
Thank you very much, Jerome. Good afternoon to all our viewers tuning in within Singapore and out of Singapore. My name is Mr. Isaac Joshua, and I'm from the School of Tourism and Hospitality. And today we're going to share with you why we are Singapore's premier education provider for tourism, hospitality, and events management. So, for a lot of you who have just completed your O-levels or A-levels, and even our friends tuning in from out of Singapore who have completed their international high school or even their diploma, I think now one of the biggest questions is, what's next? I think there's so many various options out there. And also for our industry professionals, and those who are considering a career switch, please stay tuned because we're going to share more about the options out there which are presented by the School of Tourism and Hospitality for you, how things are done here, and how we prepare you with the critical skills for the future. So back to our O-levels and A-levels, international high school students tuning in from out of Singapore. So today we would like to share with you, more about not only the world of tourism and hospitality, but at the same time, equipping you with the critical skills which are needed in the future. All right, now before that, let's look at a couple of options which are out there for you. I think for a lot of you who have just completed your O-levels or even our normal tech and vocational students, you have the A-levels to consider, which is about 2 to 3 years. The Polytechnic diploma, average about 3 years as well. Or for our secondary normal tech and vocational students, you have the higher NITEC, which could range between 1 to 2 years. And on top of that, we have the degree, which is about 3 to 4 years. So in total, we are looking at about 4 to 5 years or more just to reach that goal of a degree. And on top of this, I'm sure there are many other concerns that a lot of you are feeling right now, especially for those who have just finished your O-levels. One is the duration, does it really take so long, for me to reach my degree? Second is the cost. Next is, of course, the relevance. What happens, after I study this, all right? What's going to happen? Are these still valid? Are these skills or, everything that I learned still going to be, relevant or redundant? And other concerns include disappearing jobs and new jobs, which is inevitable. Now, I'd like to share with you something from the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report, a recent report which maps the jobs and skills of the future. Now, they say that 85 million jobs may be displaced by 2025 due to a shift in the division of labor between humans and, of course, automation. 50% of all employees may need reskilling by 2025. 85% of jobs that exist or will exist in 2030 haven't been invented yet. Now, so I think these are part of what's contributing to your concerns, as in whatever I'm studying now, is it going to be valid for the future? But the good news is, more jobs will emerge, right? More jobs that are, more adapted to the new division of labor between humans, machines, and algorithms. But to prepare for these jobs that are coming out, there are certain future skills that we are looking at. Now, let me share with you some of the future skills that we are talking about right now. Now, this is from the World Economic Forum, and by 2025, the top 10 skills are going to be analytical thinking, active learning, complex problem solving, critical thinking, creativity, leadership, technology design, resilience, and of course, reasoning. Now, what about after that, beyond that? Now, let's look at another industry report from the US for skills that could be needed by 2030. Now, look at the extreme right-hand corner, and you would see that there's a huge demand for higher cognitive skills, social and emotional skills, and even technology skills, right? Which in fact carries the most rating in the extreme right. Now, what are the skills that we are talking about? What is higher cognitive, social, and technological skills? So let me, elaborate more. Higher cognitive refers to, advanced literacy in writing, quantitative, statistical, critical thinking, complex information processing, right? Social and emotional, or what we call soft skills, includes advanced communication, when to talk, when not to talk, empathy, being able to, relate with people not only within the culture but also other cultures, negotiation, ability to learn continuously, or what we call it lifelong learning, managing others, being adaptable, and of course, technological skills. This embraces everything from basic to advanced IT skills, analysis, engineering, and research. Now, in the School of Tourism, we would like to propose, to a lot of you who are still in a dilemma and not sure what is the pathway in front, why not consider the critical skills development in the School of Tourism, right? Now, we are Singapore's premier education provider and a multiple award-winning institute for tourism, hospitality, and events management. And a lot of the skills that I just mentioned are things which are embedded within the curriculum and giving you alternatives for the future. So these skills, which are in demand for the future, become your tools for you to be versatile and to be adaptable. Now, for those of you who are not sure about the tourism, hospitality, and the MICE sector or the event sector, let me just show you a little bit more. We have the travel and tourism management, number one. We have the different types of accommodation, right? And I think you know what's happening right now in the world. Entertainment and recreation, food and beverage, right? We're talking about luxury restaurants to so many other kind of theme restaurants, events management, and others. Right now, under others, you can see the back of the house, the supporting departments like HR, sales and marketing, brand management, training, education. Now, it's more than this, right? So the tourism and hospitality industry is not just, limited to transportation or, accommodation or F&B. It's more than this. Now, have a look at this. It involves so many more players, and there's so much versatility, for you to move around in the future. We're very sure, and I'm very sure, and I'm sure you are, that eventually this climate will move on. Things will get better eventually, and we will definitely get to travel again and experience the world again. And so here you are, just have a look, there's so much. We have schools involved, banks involved, and there's so many areas, because the service industry is really huge, and with the skills that we're going to equip you with, this becomes relevant in all these different sectors, which will be evolving as well. Now, a little bit more about the tourism industry. Just to share with you, in 2019, we actually hit a new record of 1.5 billion. Now, this was pre-COVID. And of course, for 2020, we're looking at more. Now, if you look at the bottom right-hand corner, you can see that Asia and the Pacific held the second largest share. Now, if you look all around Singapore, you would notice that a lot of the tourism industry and economy have yet to develop. There's so much of growth, so much of opportunity, which is just waiting to happen after this pandemic moves on. Now, what about Singapore? Now, in Singapore, we've been hitting records every year. Now, in 2018, we hit 18.5 million, and 2019, we hit a new record of 19.1 million visitors in Singapore. Now, this is really great news, right? And of course, we're looking for these days to come back. And of course, If you look at the visitor arrival, it was usually Indonesia who are #1 visitors, but it has been replaced by China. And so you can see, all right, many new markets, and this entire environment is just so evolving. There's so much of changes happening and so much of opportunities, not only in here, but all around the world. Right? And this is where the School of Tourism comes in to equip you, not only with the knowledge, if you want to stay, you want to carry on in this industry, fine, but if not, the tools that we give you can be used in the other parts of the service industry as well. Now, another good news, by 2030, the focus is 1.8 billion. So as soon as we are past this pandemic, we are looking at, more people traveling, and I'm sure a lot of viewers out there are just hungry to travel just like me, and so we know that this rush will eventually come back. A little bit more quick facts about the tourism and hospitality industry. It is one of the most important economic engines for growth and development, and this is very obvious in many countries like Thailand, Bali, and so many more attractive islands out there. According to the Travel and Tourism Council, the tourism industry accounts for 10.4% of the world's GDP. Now, we are talking about 1 in every 10 jobs out there, right? And the tourism, all right, pre-COVID, it employed 319 million. And the prediction is by 2029, we're looking at it employing up to 400 over million people. So, let's come back to MDIS. Now that I've presented how attractive the tourism industry is and some of the critical skills that's needed, let me show you how all this is put together in the School of Tourism and Hospitality. First of all, the most important group of people are our Industry Advisory Board. Staying close to these industry experts, talking to the seniors, and putting in place and understanding firstly, and putting in place a curriculum for at least the next 2 to 4 years. It's very difficult to put a curriculum for the next 5 or 10 years because things are changing so fast. So our experts, with whom we stay close to advise us accordingly. And we also work with the different industry partners locally and globally to identify what is it that today's, or tomorrow's leaders need in terms of the school preparing them. We call this Curriculum 4.0. Now, what is Curriculum 4.0? Now, in the School of Tourism and Hospitality, we have a huge number of students from overseas. In fact, we have up to 75% foreign international students and the rest locals. And what we create for you is an intercultural setting to enhance your intercultural communication skills, working with people from around the world, preparing you now in this school, teaching you what is social and emotional skills, getting you guys to work together, work with different people, from different cultures, understanding the different cues, the different, cultures from different countries. We adopt active learning. Now, what's active learning? Active learning is very much the opposite of lectures. Instead of walking into class, our lecturers walk into class with various activities for each classes, right? So it's the opposite of lectures. So we get you guys to work on different items, different topics, come up, present, and that is how you improve your communication and your intercultural skills. Technology plays a big part in our curriculum. We have computer rooms, as you can see. We have computer, or what we call IT modules, which look into web design, app design. We're looking at data analysis. And up next is blended learning. All right? So about 70 to 80% of our classes are in campus, but of course, another 20 to 30% is online. So this is in line with what's happening today around the world, blended learning, which also means that our lecturers, our faculty are very much trained in using educational tools, right, for the future and, of course, today. Now, on top of this, the School of Tourism offers you a school campus with all the necessary facilities. We have our hostel, our gym, our different, vocational training centers, and in School of Tourism we call it Tropical Breeze. So we are equipped with housekeeping room, front office room, a fine dining setting. Now, beyond that, we have all the other facilities from all the other schools, like the School of Fashion, the School of Engineering, and all of this comes together in one beautifully designed campus, which you have access to. Now, on top of this, we also believe that studying is not limited to just in class or out of class, but also in the term of internship. And this is something that is embedded within our curriculum as well. Internship either locally or globally. And now today we know globally is a little bit difficult, so a lot of our students are within Singapore and experiencing internship in various sectors of the industry. And after that, it doesn't end after internship. The school comes in for creating employment opportunities for you as well. And later I'm going to show you how this is done. Let's have an understanding of the different programs that we have first. We have the professional diploma. That's a 7-month program with 6 months internship. Now this is a vocational program. It's up to 70–80% pretty much vocational, and it's a diploma for people who want to move in the industry quickly. Next is our International Foundation Diploma in Travel, Tourism and Hospitality Management. So these are for students who choose to embark on the management program leading to the Bachelor of Science Honours in International Tourism and Hospitality Management, which is awarded by a top 10 university in UK. Top 10 for Tourism, Hospitality and Events Management, and that is University of Sunderland. Now, if you decide to move on, we have the University of Sunderland, and we have another top university in UK, which is Edinburgh Napier University. Now, Edinburgh Napier University are actually for busy individuals who are working currently, so it's 100% e-learning. Whereas for the University of Sunderland, all of it is done in the campus over here. Now, a little bit more about the University of Sunderland and Edinburgh Napier University. We are pretty much, pleased and in a way privileged to work with this group of universities. Why? If you look at the University of Sunderland, they are top 10 in terms of the Guardian ranking for hospitality, events and tourism, awarded the silver, right, by the UK government, and it's a research-based curriculum. The opposite of exams, sitting for exams, and after the exams are over, a lot of it are not exactly kept within. Whereas for the research-based, you choose the topic, you do the research, you interview people in the industry, and you come up with a problem. And that is a great way of learning and also enhancing your problem-solving and critical thinking skills. Now, for the Edinburgh Napier University, another well-ranked university, awarded the Queen's Anniversary Prize. And again, it's a research-based curriculum to enhance your critical skills. As I was mentioning earlier, the Edinburgh Napier University is 100% e-learning. So this is good not only for students in Singapore, working adults in Singapore, but also for people around the world, because at the moment we have an international group of learners in this class. So let's talk a little bit more about all the different skills that we highlighted earlier and how we embed this within the curriculum. So let's start with your learning journey in MDIS. Firstly, we have a fully equipped campus. As you can see, a lot of it has been mentioned, the culinary, the lecture theatres, and so on. So we have this fully equipped campus, and this begins to complement your learning journey. Next, we mentioned about the intercultural setting. So as you can see, every class easily we have about 10 to 15 students. I'm sorry, not 10 to 15, so 10 to 15 countries, and this is a great opportunity to increase your communication, social, and emotional skills. Blended learning, as mentioned, a lot of our classes, despite it being in the campus, a lot of it is also done online, and this is a great opportunity, especially for those considering the current climate who want to reduce their travel. So this is one way for you to access those videos online or choose to come into school. In either way, we offer a hybrid delivery. So that means that whatever classes are held in campus are at the same time projected online as well. And this helps our international students a lot as well. Now, beyond this, we also have a lot of IT skills. So we have the various IT modules. And I also mentioned that we are, in fact, one of the few schools in Singapore where the entire faculty is well trained in educational, teaching, technological tools. Now, these are more examples of the active learning and collaborative study approaches that we embrace. So we believe that a lot of this learning best takes place out of class. And for a lot of our modules, you get a lot of this different assignments and group activities which brings you out accordingly. So these are just some of our students working together and raising funds for charity, thinking of a product, bringing in the entrepreneurial mindset, thinking how to advertise and bring in the audience to purchase the product. So a lot of different activities here to complement your learning journey. Now, Curriculum 4.0 is also about problem solving and critical thinking. So from a lot of what I've just shown you, as you can see, working in groups, number one, is not easy, but working on problems takes a very international approach. When you got people from different countries, approaching problems and looking at solutions differently, but you have to put all of this together and come up with the final solution, which involves a lot of course, research, a lot of critical thinking, a lot of negotiation. Now, looking at the vocational skill development, we do a lot of complementing skills for our students, such as dining etiquette. We do food hygiene workshops, barista, bar, wine workshops. In fact, we work with the wine suppliers who would come in and, not only share with you the latest in terms of wine in Singapore, but also get a chance to taste them. Right? Now, on top of that, like I mentioned earlier, giving back to the society is also very important in the School of Tourism. And here, a lot of the proceeds which has been raised from the different activities held within the campus, right, will usually go to various charities out there. Now, more pictures on learning outside the classroom, right? So here are pictures of our lecturers bringing our students to different parts of Singapore, right, to experience, to identify, to feel. And this comes in especially handy for our international students who are new to Singapore. And of course, yes, we know Singapore is one of the top cities, but pre-COVID, we used to do a lot of overseas trips as well. So comparing not only Singapore, but comparing Singapore to another country, right, and identifying and thinking of solutions or, new initiatives that would aid the tourism and hospitality industry. Now, for international students, for you, it's a comparison of two more cities, Singapore and a third city. Right? And this is a wonderful learning opportunity for you. Now, I'd like to share with you some of the interesting skills that we do down here. And instead of talking about it, I think the best would be to show you. Now, for our viewers who have tuned in, we have another bonus section after this. Right? So that bonus section, I'll save it for later. Now, let's see first what our students, or how our students embrace practical skills training in MDIS.
have lemon ginger honey syrup, rose syrup, juju salmon, and English breakfast tea. And the garnish will be orange slice and thymes.
Now, for our viewers from Singapore, all right, I hope you enjoyed that video. And for our viewers out of Singapore as well, you can see, all the different facilities and camp within the campus that we've put in place to enhance your learning journey. And for our industry professionals, these are skills. Again, you could, polish them up, or in fact, you could do a refresher again. Now, I mentioned we have this bonus section, and this bonus section is the workshop on a very popular mocktail in Singapore. A lot of you have heard of the Singapore Sling, but this is a mocktail which doesn't contain any alcohol. So the next video is a workshop on the Spirit of Singapore mocktail. Enjoy. Welcome to Tropical Breeze. So this is where most of the students' practical training takes place. Things like front office, housekeeping, restaurant showmanship, barista, and of course bar. And today we have an interesting workshop lined up for you. My colleague, Mr. Clarence Law, is going to share with you how to make this very popular mocktail called Spirit of Singapore. Mr. Clarence Law is our chief trainer and lecturer for practical training, and also has been winning the National Cocktail Championship Awards for several years now. So let Mr. Law share more with you.
Hi everyone, my name is Clarence, and today I'm going to present a special mocktail named Spirit of Singapore. Spirit of Singapore is a refreshing mocktail that includes pineapple juice, lime juice, grenadine syrup, topped out with ginger ale, served in a tall hurricane glass. The method of mixing this drink is a shaken drink, and the garnish I'm going to use today will be cherry and orange zamber on the rim, and served with a straw. The component of a mocktail may include a syrup as a base, and as you can see on the table here, it also includes juices as well as a mixer. Now I'm going to introduce to you the equipment that is required to mix this mocktail. First, you need to have a jigger. This is to use as a measurement for a recipe. 1 jigger is 30 ml. Next, we also need a bar spoon that we can stir the juices as we prepare the mocktails. And we also need a shaker. This is a 2-piece shaker, mixing glass, and also the metal tin. So when we place these two together, this is known as a Boston shaker. We also have the traditional 3-piece shaker, the metal tin, the strainer, and also the cap. So when we cover these 3 together, this forms a 3-piece shaker. Next, we also need to have a strainer to strain the drink after we have prepared the mocktails into the main glass. And of course, finally, we also need a tongue and the ice. So let's begin to prepare this mocktail. First, I'm going to pour 60 ml of pineapple juice. I'm going to stir the juice first. So 1 jigger is 30 ml. I'm going to pour 2 times. Next, I'm going to use lime juice, 60 ml. And to add a touch of the fruitiness, I add in 20 ml of grenadine syrup. So slightly more than half the jigger will give you 20 ml. Next, I will prepare ice on my metal tin. Ready, and shake. I will place the strainer on top of the metal tin. Get ready the hurricane glass. I will drop in 2 cubes of ice into the glass. And finally, top out with ginger ale. Dress up the glass with cherry and orange slice on the rim and serve with a straw. This is the final presentation of the Spirit of Singapore. Cheers!
Welcome to Tropical. I hope you enjoyed that video. Now, a lot of the ingredients that you just saw are easily available, so why not, after today's preview, go and try that out, right? The Spirit of Singapore, a very popular mocktail in Singapore. Now, we spoke a lot about MDIS. We spoke a lot about it being a multiple award-winning school. Now, let's share with you what are some of these awards that we have won. The Golden Standard Service Provider for Best Hospitality and Tourism Education. 2019 National Cocktail Champions in the student category. 2019, again, International Barrister competition. Again, we were the winners and seeing off competition from Europe, China, Indonesia, Malaysia. Now this year, a relatively quiet year, but again, we did this, the Singapore National Cocktail Championship, first and second again in a row. So now these are just some of the skills, that we teach our students over here to prepare for the real world. Besides teaching you some of the skills, of course, the industry is a big part of our learning journey, and we work closely with the industry to bring our students out to experience different type of events out there, from event management to event organization. Now F1, we've been doing that almost for the last few years. We work with MBS, when we work with many more industry associations to give our students a chance out there. Now, on top of this, we are one of the few schools to actually uniquely design industry engagement platforms. And this is what we call the Tourism and Hospitality Leaders Networking Reception. This is where we bring the industry into MDIS and get our students together as well to not only host this reception, but to mingle and to network with our industry partners. And this is another great learning journey for you. Right? By meeting these industry partners, there's so much that can be done not only for your assignments, but also as being a mentor to you as well. These are just some of our industry associations that we work closely with. In fact, with the Food and Beverage Management Association, we are proud to be managing the youth wing. And again, by managing the youth wing, this gives our students multiple options, in terms of connecting with the industry. Now, in terms of internship and employment, these are just some of the partners that we work with. Now, recently, the hotels has been a little bit difficult right now, but we are still seeing a lot of demand for our trainees who are well known since they are very much skill trained. And this helps the restaurant and our various industry partners in quick transition of their skills, which, to summarize, means that when our students come to you, that they are fully trained, right? So you can reduce the time of training for them. And so we have the Fullerton, we have, Rasa, Fullerton Bay, and many more restaurants today. Yep, and many more of our partners out there. And of course, when things get better, we'll be seeing a higher demand coming from various more sectors within the tourism industry. Now, earlier on, we mentioned that it doesn't stop at internship only. Now, once you graduate, we put in place various opportunities for you to enhance your career as well. And that begins with this yearly career fair, right? As you can see, we also get a lot of service and tourism partners for the career fair, whereas the one last year, we had to do that online. And we're looking forward to the next one this year as well. Now, besides career fairs, we believe career talks are also very important, and we bring in a lot of our industry people to share with you. So for those of you who are keen for the tourism hospitality industry, great, this is a great platform to talk to them, to identify, the different opportunities out there. For those of you who are still not sure where to go to, again, this comes in very handy, right? But like we said, a lot of the skills that we are training you on keeps you versatile and adaptive towards the future. Now, another person that we work with, or another association, is HOSCO. Now, this is a global employment agency, and what they actually do is they connect you with countries of your choice, cities of your choice, hotels of your choice, and in terms of an interview, if you get that through, then you're ready to go. And this is also a time I should share with you that the tourism and hospitality industry also offers a lot of different opportunities, not only for career development, but traveling around the world as well. Finally, we also like to share with you the other schools that we have within MDIS Campus Singapore. And this is a great opportunity for you to not only make friends within the school, but also friends from other units, other disciplines, right? Widen up your, network, widen up your friends. And again, like I mentioned in the beginning, there's so much facilities that the different schools offer for you, and there's so much more for you to cross-learn. And as we gear for the graduation, please remember, we are not only here to enhance you with the skills for the future, but to also help you with the journey out there. And that's why we also have the alumni of MDIS to keep in touch with you and, to ensure to support you with whatever help or assistance you need. Now, for industry professionals who have been tuning in, I just want to bring your attention to the Skills Future Study Awards. For those of you who have at least 2 years of work experience, we're looking at up to 5,000 in terms of the study award to you. Right? So this is something that can offset your school fees and reduce your cost concerns. And also for the rest of our friends in Singapore who have tuned in, remember about what I spoke. A career in the tourism and hospitality is waiting for you. If not, the versatile skills and the critical skills that we equip you with comes in very handy for anything else out there in the future. So, please get in touch. Right? Today, we're offering up to 50% off application fees, special diploma rebates, degree rebates, master's rebates, and so on. Right? So let's reach out now. So finally, my name is Isaac Joshua, and together, let's reimagine learning. Have a good day.
dance,